Leche. 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 Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced, leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Tuesday, September 26th. We're at the very tail end of the MLB season, and we'll be going over the MLB card. Maybe we'll touch on the two WNBA playoff games. I don't have any bets on those, but they're very interesting situations, to say the least. We're in the heart of the beginning of the football season. We're having a lot of fun. We got the comment section. I'm a little bit behind, so I got to bring up the comment section right now. Not seeing anyone, and I'm not seeing the show right now. I'm going to pull it up, but we're going to have a good time in today's show. An interesting time of the baseball season. Things can be a little bit quirky, just put it mildly. Last week of the MLB season, but there's no one I'd rather be talking to about. Well, there's like 2 or 3 other people I'd rather be talking to about this, but top 5 people I'd like to be talking about this is today's guest for the MLB show, Dabby Tab. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. That's an okay joke today. Yeah, you know Dabby. Yeah, of course. Everyone's always like, there can only be one number one, which is not to say the top 5 or top 10 isn't fucking awesome. In most cases, top 1,000 is awesome. You know what I'm saying, Dabby Cab?
Pete, I came up watching you cap, so if I'm in your top 5, I'll take it.
Hell yeah, Dabby Cab. All right, this is just tell me just be honest, though, if you don't mind. How you feel about MLB right now? Very, very weird, quirky, wacky time of the year. There's usually a couple of great spots on every card, especially with so much focus on football right now. But we are as confused as the market is right now, so I take it very lightly. How you feel about baseball in general at this time of year, Dabby Cab?
It's a motivation thing, and I know we talk about it, but it's like, some people have checked out. Some people have rookies in there who are trying to make their name for next year. Some people have people like the Angels who haven't got to play in 3 years, who are finally getting an opportunity and they're actually playing hard. And you got other teams who have just quit, who have rolled over and died. So, I mean, you got to be careful out there. Motivation is a big, big key in what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Although, as we've seen with the Arizona Cardinals and others, just because a team or management might not necessarily, or the manager might not have motivation, doesn't mean the players don't have motivation. Everyone who's on the field, except for maybe the grizzled veterans, is given 100%. We know that, are very damn close to it. All right, let's look at the comment section, see who we got. Shout out to everyone. Sammy Comer, thank God. Dan Kelly. Oh no, Dan Kelly says I'm here for the locks and only the locks. Okay, if there are any locks, I should be able to find them, so I'll look for them, Dan Kelly. And we need everyone to help us with thank God, Pimp Slap Play of the Day. There we go. I'd rather have him in here than you, Dabby Cab, but I'd rather have you than me, Dabby Cab. You know what I'm saying? You're maybe like number 2 or 3. I'm like number 8 when it comes to the people I know in terms of baseball cabinet. Pimp Slap Play of the Day. That guy's unreal, right, Dabby?
Man, that's what I'm about to say. I told Mike this yesterday, man. I don't know, but I don't know many people that do it like he does. The amount of volume, and we can always tell who really is, putting their life on the line when they gamble and who's not. Mike M's really doing this shit. He's really putting the volume out there. Anything that he says, he's really betting. So hats off to him.
Unfreaking. No, I'm just kidding around. I would rank Mike M number 2 in baseball capping. I'd rank Dabby Cab number 1. Thank God we got him on camera with us.
Number 3 for my favorite things to cap, so it's all good.
All right, good. All right, great, Dabby Cab. All right, let's just look at the comment section for a second and see if there's any things that I want to copy and paste as far as picks or opinions are concerned, and then we'll get into it. Let's see. Yeah, the Houston-Seattle game, that'll be an interesting one. Shout out to Pimp Slap Play of the Day. Let's see. Justin McElvey stacks play. Oh yeah, Cubs first 5 plus 102. We'll talk about that. Yeah, Dabby. One of the toughest things for me. We'll talk about one other issue. When you have a pitcher, starting pitcher who's had a big sample size during the year, and suddenly at the tail end of the year starts to make a turn in form. Either, a guy's been pitching great and starting to get hit, or a guy's been getting hit and starting to pitch well. I feel like in the middle of the season and even the very beginning, very end, I have close to the end, I have a good read on what to expect, whether that's fundamental and likely to keep going, or whether it's just a blip or an anomaly. Like the last week or two of the season, that's a lot tougher. Justin Steele, perfect example. This guy's gotten hit 2 starts in a row. Is he likely to turn it around here and have a good start in his 3rd start? I really don't know. But you understand the issue I'm talking about, right, Dabby?
So a lot of times we talk about we'll say rookies or young guys, watch their inning count, but you got to watch everybody's inning count, because
absolutely.
When the arm goes dead, it could happen to a veteran who has, 5 seasons under his belt where this hasn't happened to him, but his arm's dead now. So when the arm gives out, the only thing that's going to bring it back to full strength is rest, right? And we have rest in a 162 game season. So it's not just rookies that we watch that inning count with, it's everyone. And as far as Steele goes, 2 starts isn't a large enough sample size for me to say his arm's dead.
Right.
Back-to-back rough starts is common. I'd say this is the real telling start today. If he's able to bounce back today, one thing I'd look at is velo. If his velo was down at all in those last 2 starts, it might be a sign that his arm's going.
Andrew G says Greinke's arm is dead. So there we go. We have one dead arm or not dead arm opinion from Andrew G. Anyone else with any dead or not dead opinions? Please post them now so we can refer to them later. Let's see. Hell yeah, Brandon the Great, shout out to you. I'm going to quickly retweet this, and let me see. Dabby Cab. All right. While I quickly retweet this, is there any starting pitcher, just to give a preview of the entire card, who you think might be experiencing like a bit of a dead arm situation right now, or a guy who's maybe gotten hit a little bit but isn't dead and might be in for a good start today or in future starts this week?
One person who I think might get hit today is Javier for the Astros. I think Javier might get. I'm really leaning towards Seattle as a side, but also what I'm looking at is that first 5 total here. Even George Kirby, I mean, he's been good. Like when I say he started to falter, he's not having the 1-2 no-run games. He's given up 3-4 runs, and this has been consistent now over his last 7 starts, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starts. He's been giving up those 3 or 4 runs through 5 innings. I think Christian Javier will give up his share. I think George Kirby will give up a few of his. And with that total being as low as it is at 7.5, it doesn't deter me. So I'll be very interested in that game when we get there, Pete.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a huge one because Javier actually had a good start. He was getting hit a while, and then his last start was a lot better with strikeouts. So that's a perfect example. And you think that he's that was a bit of an anomaly his last start?
Christian Javier is one of those guys. It was against Baltimore, so you can't take it away from him. He only gave up 1 run through 5 innings, 3 hits. But he's one of those guys that he pitches to contact. His stuff is not that elite, in my opinion, but he does a very good job locating his pitches. He gets ground balls when he needs them. So he pitches to contact. And those type of people are always interesting to watch because they can always go through a game and have a good start. But it's not that he found his plus slider or his plus fastball the reason why he had a good game. He had a good game just because the contact so happened to go to the people that he needed it to go to.
Hell yeah. Here we go. Jeffrey Moore, Eflin, arm not dead. Please, everyone, post your dead/not dead opinions on today's starters. We've got Andrew G, Greinke, arm dead. Jeffrey Moore giving the opinion, Eflin, arm not dead. Hell yeah. And let's see. Rocco Rogers, look at Steele starts against the Pirates. Advanced numbers said he got absolutely bipped instantly. His xFIP was a negative number. Interesting. Okay, insanely. Let's see. Okay. I think we can get into it, Dabby Cab. You ready?
Absolutely, Pete.
Let me pull up all my friggin' sheets here. Okay. Let's start with right. Okay, so we got a doubleheader, and also there's like 3 or 4 games on the card where I didn't have a line about half an hour ago. They're probably out now, but I'll have to do some on-the-fly analysis of the odds when we get to those games. Dodgers and Colorado, doubleheader, first game. Dodgers a massive favorite, of course. Totals 12.5. Chase Anderson started for Colorado. He's actually been decent at home recently. I believe that Pepiot is going to get bulk innings for Dodgers if he's not starting as well. And the Dodgers are are playing. I don't think their postseason position is locked in, but they've clinched the top 2 seed. Are they locked into their spot or not? Are they? Do they have anything to play for technically?
Okay.
Oh
So
yeah, there is. Yes, right. They're right.
yeah,
Right.
Technically no, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like technically no, they still need to win a couple games.
I think they mathematically could. I mean, they're not going to, but they mathematically are not eliminated for the top seed in the National League. But they're basically locked in to where they are, although mathematically not. This one, as with most of these games, except for the games where you know that everyone's going to be playing, their top guys, I would be waiting for the lineups here. But my initial lean, the first game of the doubleheader, even with the Dodgers lineup going, is under. And I might make that an official play. I'd be definitely leaning under 12.5. And Colorado, of course, is a massive dog. Free play, I guess I would pull the trigger on that, but I haven't bet it, probably won't. But definitely leaning under 12.5, Dabby Cab. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. For me, it's really hard. Like you said, without the lines and stuff, it's hard for me to even really give an opinion because so much of my opinion is based around where the line's at and, where the value would be.
We have a line. We just don't have the lineups, is what I was saying.
Oh, okay. We have a line on this?
Yeah, I saw. Let me see. Maybe it's been taken down or canceled or something. I saw total 12.5 and the line of about Colorado like plus 200 or so. Dodgers like minus 230 or whatever. Yeah, and that's about where it is right now. Slightly juiced to the under at Pinnacle.
Starting pitcher for the Dodgers on this one?
No, but I believe it's Pepiot's either going to be starting or getting the bulk innings. So yeah, you're right. That's a little bit tricky. And actually, when I looked at Heritage this morning, they posted a line, but with no starting pitcher listed. So I didn't exactly know whether they were automatically going to give you action or what. But yeah, this is a tough one. Regardless, I think let me see what do we got here.
I mean, the Rockies haven't put up more than 3 runs in their last 5 games. So,
right.
And they've been on the road. Obviously, the ball's going to carry more at Coors Field. But yeah, I would lean under here too. I've got no feel on a side or anything like that since I wasn't really able to cap this deep. But I would.
Yeah. Yeah, I am seeing a line for both games at Pinnacle, but I'm not seeing the listed pitchers here. All right, well, maybe at the end of the show we'll have more information, but I would definitely be leaning game 1 the under at 12.5, and obviously the Dodgers are way better, but I have to think the odds are with you that Colorado wins one of these games. They're a plus 200 dog in both of them right now at Pinnacle. Let's look at the comment section, and then we'll move on. Let's see. Comments here. On this one, yeah, Ronnie and Bergia, they're quoting the Dodgers. Here we go. Andrew G says, yeah, the 12.5 is tempting. And, Justin McElvey says Steele and Eflin arms are not dead. Okay, so let's move on, Dabby Cab. Next game on the card, Cincinnati, Cleveland. This one I'm really not sure about, although I would lean under, but I have very low confidence with it. Green and Giolito. 2 frustrating guys, right? Green and Giolito at times have lights out starts, but more often than not, they're disappointing. Green, of course, off of an awesome one, right? And his last 4 starts have been great. So I guess I'm willing to bet that he'll have another great start here, more likely than not. But he's the type of guy who you really want to be careful betting on after, a 14 strikeout start or whatever his last start was. And then Giolito, mostly struggling. 2 starts ago at home, though, against Texas, had a great start. So my leans would be Cincinnati and the under. Didn't bet him. I'm not sure I want to, but let's hear what you have to say about it. Leans would be, sure, why not? Cincinnati and the under, betting on Green to have another excellent start.
I absolutely think he can have another excellent start. And you said it. You got to be careful because he's one of those people that his accuracy is what affects him. When he starts walking people, that's when Green struggles, but he can't find the strike zone. But a 1.5 ERA in his past 4 starts, like you said. On the road this season, he's got a 3.668 ERA. So the Reds right here, they have a 4-1 record in his last 5 away games. So they've been putting up runs behind him. Cleveland's offense is terrible. I just want to say that, they're only 27th in runs per game. I've been harping on it how bad they've been all year. They have no plate. They have no approach at the plate, which anybody who's big in baseball understands that your approach is everything, and it's systemic throughout the entire team. Guardians haven't been putting up runs lately. They haven't been putting up runs all season. I think Green is who the Reds need to be their guy, whether he's ready for it or not. It's time. So yeah, I would look Reds right here. I'd pass. I mean, Green has like Giolito at all.
Yeah, and Green has really been lights out over his past 4 starts or so. And maybe I'd be nervous about it. But here, at Cleveland facing this lineup, doesn't look like looks like another promising situation for him. Yeah. And the line has gotten bet down. It was 8 when I looked at it. Now it's down to 7.5. So it's gone down a full half run. And the odds haven't moved since I looked at this game, although I didn't check the overnight. But yeah, I would be I'm an inch away from taking like a Cleveland team total under, which right now at Pinnacle is probably pretty low, like 3.5 juice to the under. 3.5, just minus 106. That is tempting as hell. And the first half team total, 1.5 plus 115. Don't think I can pull the trigger on that. So Giolito, my numbers say that he's likely to have a decent start here just because of the way he pitches. And so, but there you go. The first 5 is 4. Would be leaning, Cincinnati first 5 money line is also.
That's where I would be.
Yeah.
Right there.
Let me just. All right. I think I will. It is a game. I mean, Cleveland is out of a playoff contention, and Cincinnati is still fighting for it. Just minus 104. Okay, I'll make that an official play. Cincinnati first half money line minus 104. Current line of Pinnacle. You might be able to find a slightly better line somewhere else, but we won't do that. I'll just take the Pinnacle line and make that an official play for myself. Cincinnati first 5 money line minus 104. I think that's a decent play. It's always I just don't like betting guys like Green off a 14 strikeout start, but given the situation, I'm willing to do it. All right, let's look at the comment section. Hunter Green at performance last out. Don't see a repeat. Yeah, I don't see it either. But as you said, Giolito is a little bit iffy. Cleveland's lineup is something I like to bet against. Sharon Pulliam likes Cleveland or nothing here. Ron Crawford, Tampa Bay. Is spreadsheet play of the day is Tampa Bay. We got it. That's an interesting game. We will talk about that. Let me copy and paste it. Shout out to Ron Crawford. Thank you for sharing the spreadsheet play of the day.
I was going to say, Pete, too, on this one, early on, you asked me a question. My first answer was motivation. The Reds are in an absolute, they're already pretty much burnt, but they need help at this point. They have to basically win out, and they also need help. You still want to have hope as a team. So this is, after dropping 4 straight, this is as must win as a game can possibly be.
Yeah, they're mathematically in it. And Fly White Mike says Reds are easily the play. Pete. All right, I will. Yeah. Sharon Pulliam's opinion is hanging in my head for sure, and I agree with it. But I'm going to take a shot at the line. The line is a little suspiciously low, but I'll pull the trigger on it anyway. All right, next game: Dabby Cab, Washington, Baltimore. Josiah Gray against Bradish. Bradish has been solid and consistent. Josiah Gray pitching well in September as well, and. I know that that Baltimore's magic number is like 2 or 3 now to clinch the AL East. So they're motivated here. It's a huge favorite line. I also didn't pull the trigger on this one yet, but I was leaning under 7.5. Even though Josiah Gray is a little bit iffy, he's been pitching better. He's been pitching better recently. And I also didn't want to take a shot with the Baltimore money line, but was also my numbers indicated possible value with the Washington team total under, despite the low number here. Bradish, I think, is going to have another strong game, solid and consistent, reliable, and I'd be leaning under, and more so Washington team total under. What do you have here, if anything, Dabby?
There. Made it for a while. And see, Pete doesn't jump me like everybody else when I'm muted for 2 seconds. Everybody else is like, Cav's muted again. Pete's like, no, he'll get it in 2 seconds. It's no big deal. I appreciate that, Pete. But I have a few bets. I'll make everything official when we do our recap at the end. On this one right here, Baltimore's just a better team in every possible way. You can, you look at, starting pitching in this game, you look at the lineups, you look at the bullpen, every way. And then also, they've gone 8-1 against the Nationals since, July back in 2021. It's just, not a ton of games over that span against each other, but, they do their job. And in that stretch, with Kyle Bradish on the mound here, I think they're going to control this game from start to finish. Since the beginning of July, he's had a 2.39 ERA. And Washington's offense is what they are. They're 22nd in runs per game. That's why you were looking at probably maybe their team total under. They really just don't put up runs. I would even at this heavy of a favorite, I would have to be on the Orioles, which isn't something, everybody knows that won't make my card, but that's like, if I was betting it, I would take them on the run line, I guess. So.
Noli knows, as Senior Loshak. Noli knows. I was thinking about the under here, even with Josiah Gray going up against the Baltimore lineup, which can be obviously a very productive lineup, and Gray can be vulnerable. I was thinking about the under here, and especially taking it at 8 at like minus 120 or so. Sharon Pulliam says sneaky no run in the first inning here. Also, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Dave Gray, Andrew G says Dave Gray is good. What time is this game? I think this is just a 6:40 game. You know what, Dabby Cab? If it loses, that's okay, but I will take a shot with the under. I'll go to 8. It's minus 123 at Pinnacle. Let's see what Heritage has. Heritage has, what does Heritage have here? Under 8, minus 121. All right, I'll take that one. If it loses, that's okay, but I'm going to take Washington, Baltimore, under 8, minus 121 as an official play. That's for me. Washington, Baltimore, under 8, minus 121. We're going to need Josiah Gray to be okay here and to hold down the Baltimore lineup for a while, which I think is more likely than not. Even if he gets hit, we might see it like 5-1 after 6. I'm sorry?
See, you said 5-1, Pete. I was about to tell you this is a 5-2 ball game. You got this. 5-2 ball game.
And so maybe 5-1 after 6, and then Washington puts up another run in the top of the 8th, 5-2, and it cashes. All right, let's see. Jeffrey Moore says, I don't have access to Nat's first 5 team total under, but that's what it would look like. Yeah, I mean, that is the whole game team total for Washington is 2.5. So the first 5 is going to be like 1.5 plus 100. Let's see what Pinnacle actually does have here. Team total first half. Wow, was I wrong? Washington. First 5, under 1.5, minus 149 at Pinnacle. I would not bet that.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at the lines, it all adds up. But yeah, I would not pull the trigger on that. Do like the under, though.
It would be 1.5. I don't know why there's so much juice on it, though.
And Sharon Pulliam, sneaky no-run first inning. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Okay, so I've got a second play. Let's move on. Dabby Cab. KC and Detroit is the next game. There were no lines when I was looking at this earlier this morning. I don't know if there are now. Let's refresh Pinnacle, see what we got here. KC, Detroit, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay, minus 163 for Detroit and 7.5 juice to the over. All right, so let's plug that in here. 7.5 juice. So Greinke, not awful, but he's been vulnerable. We have Andrew G labeling him as a dead arm guy right now. Reese Olson pitching great last bunch of starts. Cannot deny that. I would be leaning, before I saw the lines, it is a low total here, but I was leaning under and the KC team total under as well, expecting Olson to have another strong start. I mean, he's a young guy who's trying to prove himself right now. KC, of course, has been on fire, winning. So they're playing with some life to them. They just swept Houston, and Detroit is returning from Oakland. They've also been winning a bit, but I think that this is probably, after the Houston series, a good spot for Olson. And Greinke, yeah, he's no great shakes, but they're only throwing him out there for 3 or 4 innings. So is he going to get lit up? Probably not. If he gives up a bunch of runs, your under is probably still okay. But it's a low total. I'm just seeing these lines for the first time. Detroit minus 163, 7.5, slightly juiced to the over at Pinnacle. What do you think here, Dabby, if anything?
I'm looking in, because I know Olson's, he's been really good his last 4 starts. 5, but that one only went 4 1/3. His last 4 starts, he's been stellar. I don't know why. My first initial thought was to see what we could get on the Royals team total, just because, this 6-game win streak is impressive. And this is what I was talking about when I say, like, young players that don't give a fuck what the record is. This is a team like that has a lot of players like Bobby Witt and people like that who are just happy to be playing baseball still. And they're going out there every day and playing the game right. And they've been putting up runs, man. But Reese Olson has been outstanding his last 4 starts. I mean, those aren't that's like kind of when you look at Green's numbers, how I say, like, I think he can keep doing it. These, he's getting through 7 innings, 6 innings and 2/3, 6 innings, giving up 1-2 runs, no runs through 7, 6 innings, 4 starts in a row. He's feeling it right now. We can say that. So yeah, I guess I'm probably gonna have to be off this one because Royals have put up 35 runs in those 6 games. Also, I was doing the math in my head while I was talking. That's they've been the bats have been there. So I don't know why I lean Royals team total over, but I'm not going to get there with that.
No, I'd be leaning Royals team total under and the full game under. Zach Greinke, I guess, is an X factor. Here we are on the road. I mean, Detroit is not an impressive offensive team, to put it mildly, but is Greinke like actually is it dead arm? What do you think? How bad is it for Greinke right now?
I mean, we're looking at a guy who, you go years back was 6-7 innings into the game every time, and now he can't get through 4 innings. Like, he can't get to the 4th inning, as a matter of fact. I mean, he's just going 2-3 innings most starts. Yeah, his arm's as dead as it can possibly be. He's up there throwing fucking watermelons, man. He's the same. He's in the same situation as Adam Wainwright. Like, they need to just stop.
How's he getting 5 strikeouts then against Cleveland in his last start in 3 2/3 innings?
He's a guy that has good off speed, and you can always get away with it a few times to a few hitters. But he gets hit hard when he does get hit, and that's what's going to keep happening because it's just bad.
Yeah. But the people in the comment section said it. Noli No says, brain dead, more like it. Man, can you imagine if you had a dead arm and a dead brain? Sometimes the luck just doesn't go your way.
Noli's saying what I'm saying. Like, he's ruining his career, in my opinion. Like, just stop, man. Like, he's not, it's bad, Pete. It's bad, man.
Imagine if you had a dead arm, a dead brain, and a dead cock. That's like the trifecta of just pack it in, pal. Just fucking pack it in. Cock. Yeah. He might be suffering from those 2 other things. We don't even know. All right. Justin McElvey says Greinke arm is shot. Andrew G says noodle arm. Even Noli Knows, who likes to take unders, says brain dead, more like it. All right. I guess I'll hold off. I was going to take a shot with the under here, thinking that even if Greinke has a dead arm and brain and cock, all right, so he gives up 4 in 3 innings, worst case scenario. Reese Olson comes in, gives up 7 in 2, and you're still looking at a possible live under. I'm thinking about doing that. I mean, Greinke, it is bad, isn't it? I'm thinking about the KC team total under as well. I like Olson. He's a young guy. I know KC is fighting and doing everything, but after the change of location now with the great series at Houston, I don't know. What do you think about that? But the X factor here is Olson. Has he been getting lucky these past few starts, or is that who he really is? I mean, that's 4 nice starts. The strikeouts.
I mean, 6 innings and 2 hits against the Dodgers, 1 earned run last start. That's not luck. They're a good hitting team. You look at 6 innings, only 1 earned run against Cincinnati. That's a good hitting team. The 2 starts before that were against the White Sox, which I wouldn't put too much stock into that. But I mean, I don't know. That's 4. That's if it was just 1 or 2, I'd be on the over quick as can be. But 4 in a row, like, he's feeling it. He's feeling it.
He's also, I think, gotten.
That's not luck.
I think he's got. Yeah, I mean, he's gotten a little hit lucky. He gave up a home run in each of his last 3 starts. Strikeouts are good. Some walks. I mean, he's definitely pitching over his head. All right, I guess I'll hold off. I was trying to talk myself into taking the under, but I'm not seeing Noli Knows saying anything about it. Noli's just making fun of Greinke, not saying yes under, dead under, any of that. All right, I'll hold off for now. Go ahead.
Well, he doesn't want to do it under with Noli or with Greinke. That's why.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Man, I would love to take. Yeah. All right. I'm going to hold off. Next one, Pitt and Philly, also a game that had no lines when I looked at it last. Here we go. -167 for Philly and 7.5 juice to the under. Put those lines in. 7.5 juice to the under. Keller against Nola. And, Pittsburgh playing hard and winning. Philly is also rolling. They are playing for playoff positioning, though. Their magic number now is just 1, so they're going to get it, but they're still aware that it's not quite there yet. This is another one. I was thinking about the under. Keller once in a while gets pounded, but he's usually pretty good. Nola, same kind of deal. I would give Keller a slight edge overall, statistically. Before I saw the lines, I was thinking definitely about the under. And as far as the line was concerned, I didn't know, because I was like, how big of a favorite are they going to make Philly? -167. I'm not. I think I would free play without running the numbers right now. I'd probably take Pitt at that line. Thinking about an under and thinking about like a no-run first inning, first 3 under, first 5 under, something like that. Interesting situation here, Dabby Cab. What's up with Pittsburgh? They're winning, playing hard and winning.
What's been going through my mind listening to you, Pete? and you're talking about these unders. Look at how low the totals are today. Like for
Yeah.
anybody who doesn't think the weather plays a factor in baseball, like, and I'm not just talking about if it's raining or not. I'm talking about the humidity. Like, go outside where you're at and watch the game in your hometown. You can. One of the things I've had the most success is taking the first 5 over with the Rangers game, even with the dome, like even with it covered, you can tell when the humidity's in the air, you're just like, oh, the baseball is going to fly today, right?
Yeah.
Something has everything down. A lot of these games should be 8.5. That last game we just talked about should be 8.5. This should probably be 8.5, and they're comfortably just here, like here, have fun with this 7.5. These numbers have been much rarer this season. You're not seeing near as many 7.5s as we saw last year. And now today, they're just like every game. Here's a 7.5. Here's a 7.5. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. You got me thinking there's going to be some unders today. Like, and there is weather everywhere. I think we're going to see some unders. I would look Phillies as a side here. I've had a lot of success taking first 5 run lines. On a -150 to -165. So this is a spot where I really like the run line, and I wouldn't be scared to lay it. And I might get there with Nola in the first 5, but I'll decide by the end.
All right. Well, I'm definitely thinking about unders. No run in the first 3 under, first 5 under, full game under. They're all a little bit low, as we know. 7.5 is low down there. The first 5 is 4, -111 at Pinnacle right now. Let me see what Caesars has for the first 3 here. The Philly game, here we go. First 3 is, let's see what we got. Yeah, it's going to be 1.5, but plus 155. So that's kind of a nice, I could easily see that hitting. All right, I guess, no, I got to pull the trigger on this. I love the under here. Not love it. I mean, I think the edge is small, but the confidence on it is high. So I just ran the numbers. Yeah, I mean, the Mets series all went over. The last game didn't, but yeah. All right, I got to think about it. Let's look at the comment section to see if there's anything coming in here.
I clicked one for you. Noli gave you the skull, so Noli's saying it's going dead under.
On this game he's talking about, right?
If he gave you the skull, that means dead under, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. It's just sometimes not exactly 100% obvious which game he's talking about, but obviously he's talking about this one. All right, I can't not do it. I was going to do it myself anyway. So now that one is in there, let me see. Let me just quickly glance at what. Oh yeah, Parody doesn't have it. All right, I'll just quickly do it. First 5 under 4 -111. Here we go. Pittsburgh, Philly. First 5 under 4 -111. Also liking the full game under. Also liking the no run in the first inning. I guess I'll hold off right now, but definitely liking the full game under as well. And probably some other stuff that'll come to me when I do a full analysis of the numbers for this game, because these just came out just now that I saw. All right, ready to move on, Dabby?
Yeah, let's get it.
Another game with a super low total, Yankees and Toronto. Michael King against Gossman, and both these starters, of course, faced the opposing team in their last start. Michael King absolutely freaking dealing. Lights out against Toronto in his last game, 13 strikeouts. Gossman, less consistently awesome, but still pretty good most of the time. Last start against the Yankees, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, shut him down. And so we got a total here, 7, juice to the over, but 7. Toronto, a huge favorite. And, of course, the Yankees are out of the playoffs. Now, how much are they going to care about being spoilers here? My guess is relatively 0. They got to win after they got eliminated from the playoffs. But the Blue Jays are still playing for positioning. They're still trying to get – they haven't clinched a playoff spot yet. They're trying to do it. Huge line here, though, -153. My numbers, not counting the situation, would be liking the Yankees at this line. But a lot of times in my betting career, when you see a guy like Michael King absolutely lights out on the road as a huge underdog like this, and it doesn't make any sense, there's a reason, and it's usually a bad bet. So I don't know what I would do here if I was given a free play. I think I'm going to pass. Dabbing Cap, interesting situation. What do you like here, if anything?
With baseball for me, sometimes this helps and sometimes it doesn't. Some of my answers aren't necessarily like indicative of the numbers, but I can tell you why it would be like that with King, because the Blue Jays' number one goal this game has got to be to get to the Yankees bullpen. their approach at the plate, the whole game needs to be to work the count and get as deep into counts as they possibly can. Because King should have a limited number of innings he's going to throw still here. Right. So the sooner the bullpen comes out for the Yankees, the sooner the Blue Jays have a chance to win this. And this game couldn't be bigger for the Blue Jays. And on the other side, Gausman is 2-0 against the Yankees. He's done a, good job, pitching against them when he's got the ball. And just the Yankees lineup too. They put up two or less runs in 4 of their last 6 games. The long ball is what they can hit. I hope Gausman doesn't leave any of his sinkers up. As long as he keeps the ball down in the zone, I don't see any reason why he can't limit the Yankees here. So that's where I'm at with this. Is I think the approach is going to be to get to the Yankees bullpen as quick as possible.
Yeah, and you know what? I will take. I'm going to take a first 3 under here, just because the numbers say that it's not counting the situation. The numbers say that it's a decent bet at the huge line. I'm going to take. I'm going to take Yankees Toronto first 3 under 1.5 plus 150. That's the current line at Caesars. Yankees Toronto first 3 under 1.5 at plus 150, and it's tough to bet on King and Gausman both having strong starts again against the same teams after they did it in their last starts in the middle of the season. I'd be more careful about doing that at the end of the season. It's a bit of a different situation. I think Gausman will be okay again, at least for a while, and I'll take a shot with that big dog line. Let's just glance at the comments here. Let's see. Andrew G says immense pressure on Jays. Rocco Rogers, King's been nasty with the strikeouts. Yes, absolutely. And Rob Free likes a no run in the first inning, which I would agree with as well. All right, let's move on. Dabby Cap, next one. Here we go. Tampa Bay, Boston. Boston is a small home dog. Last I checked, spreadsheet play of the day from Ron Crawford is Tampa Bay as a small favorite. Now, Tampa Bay, of course, Eflin starting. He's been very good and consistent. Tanner Houck can be good, but more vulnerable, of course. And Tampa Bay, they are trying to win the AL East title, but they got a lot of injuries, right? Yandy Diaz is out. He injured himself yesterday. A bunch of guys are out. The list is big. Now, if there's ever a team that can plan for it and weather it, it's Tampa Bay. But not sure I'd want to take him here on the road as a big as a favorite. But Ron Crawford says yes. Tampa Bay spreadsheet play of the day. I was looking at this. I was thinking another under here, 8.5. Eflin, good and consistent. Tanner Houck can be vulnerable, but again, a lot of times he can be pretty good. I would be leaning under. I think I'm going to take it. My lean on the side was Boston, but after seeing Ron Crawford single this game out for spreadsheet play of the day, I'm not going to do that. Interesting situation. What do you think, Dabby?
I think that, it's important to see what hitters are going to be in the game and what aren't. Closer to game time, we can get a better idea of what the lineup's going to be for the Rays. And I think that's what we have to do here. The Red Sox hit better at home. At Fenway, they hit 281 as a team, 803 OPS. On the road, they only hit 240. That's actually kind of a big, drop there. I would need to see the lineups, Pete. That's really, I know that kind of sounds like a cop out here, but I need the lineups.
Oh, no.
If the Rays have people in, this is a steal with them right here. But if they're out, maybe you look Red Sox way.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that that Eflin is in for a good day. I'll tell you what, to start, I might double up here. I am going to take the under. It's down to 8. And when I saw it 8.5, I liked it. I missed the move, but it's now minus 103 at Pinnacle. I'll take that one. Tampa Bay, Boston, under 8, minus 103. I'll make that official. And I'm also thinking about the team total unders for Boston, or the first 5 team total unders. Let me see. The team total for the first 5 is 1.5 plus 103 at Pinnacle. For the full game, it's 3.5 plus 100. That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, Eflin should be good, and then whoever comes in later should be good as well. I think I'm going to pull the trigger 2 ways and do a partial tail of the spreadsheet play of the day and take the Boston team total under at 3.5 at whatever I can get. Best line I can get, 3.5. Oh wow, minus 109 at Heritage, but it's minus 100, but it's plus 100 at Pinnacle. That's not great to see, but I'll pull the trigger on it. I will take the Boston full game team total under 3.5 plus 100 at Pinnacle. A little bit concerned that Pinnacle has a much better line than Heritage. That's not a good sign to me, but I'll take it anyway. Who knows where it's going to close? Let's look at the comments section. God, all these picks are so borderline, but I'll do it. Market. What'd you say? What happened?
I love your reaction to that when you just said that. That just made me laugh. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm the fucking the most annoying public handicapper out there. There's people who are better than me, people who are more knowledgeable, people funnier than me, but no one is more annoying to watch handicap live on camera than myself at times. Markel likes first 5 Rays. Now I have to think that if Ron Crawford likes Rays full game as the spreadsheet play of the day, then he would probably even more like the Rays first 5, right? Why wouldn't he?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, if you think Eflin's going to have a good start, Rays first 5 is where I would bet this game. But I mean, a lot of my bets are in the first 5 innings because I like the the angle of the starting pitching. But yeah, Rays first 5 is something. But I need to know the Rays lineup. Without their lineup, I'm not doing it.
Right. Okay. I'll just hold off for now, but my lean would be to throw on a third play there. Tampa Bay first 5. All right, let's move on. Miami Mets, another situation where both starters are facing the team for the second game in a row, and both starters also did excellently in their last start. Garrett against Lucchesi. Garrett was lights out against the Mets in his last start, and actually that was last Tuesday, and I did that show, and I took the first 5 under in that one as well. I guess I got to be thinking under again. Marlins are playing for wild card positioning. Mets, of course, in a spoiler role. At this line, I have a slight lean to the Mets as a small dog at plus 114, which is what I saw earlier. Total 8. Juice to the under. Once again, my numbers indicate under at 8. Once again, that would mean that both starters would come in and have a second straight quality start against teams that they just faced last week and both pitched well against. But again, these games at Citi Field can be very run suppressing, especially this time of year. And I'd be leaning Mets, leaning under, and leaning first 5 under as well. What do you think? Anything here, Dabby? Hey, Dabby, turn your fucking mic on, you cock.
There you go. That was much better.
Thank you.
That was much better. God damn it. As bad as the Mets have been, they've kicked the Marlins' ass this season. They've won 7 of their last 10 games against them. This is Garrett's 31st appearance, 30th start of the season for the Marlins here. He's 9-6 with the 3.53 ERA. He stepped up. Sandy's had such a downturn. The Marlins really needed him to step up. A 1.143 whip. Only 27 walks to the 154 strikeouts. So Garrett's been somebody who I've, personally backed a few times this season. My only thing here is in this situation, I hate to say it with the Mets, but I think the Mets might be the side in this game. I don't really have a feel on total because I think Garrett might give it up a little bit here. But as far as a side, I think it's the Mets.
Yeah, that's what my numbers indicate at the current line, and anything better than plus 110. My numbers like the Mets, and at the under at 8, slightly juiced to the under. My numbers liked it as well. It's now down to 7.5 at most of these places. Let's see what Pinnacle has. Yeah, 7.5 plus 101. Gosh, I really want to take a shot with this, but I think I'm going to. I think I want to hold off. But the Mets, my numbers like the Mets, and I probably should pull the trigger on that just because. You got to go with your numbers, I think. All right. I'll make that official. Plus 113. Mets, money line, full game, plus 113. Don't love going against Garrett, but my numbers like it, and my numbers like the total as well. All right. That's official for me. The Mets. Let's move on. Dabby Cab, Cubs, Atlanta. Here we go. This is a tough one. Steele, we talked about this earlier. Hit hard in his last 2 starts. Before that, of course, he had been great. We got some. Who was the person who commented that Steele's arm is not dead? I don't know. I can't find that comment, but yeah, hit hard his last 2 starts. Now he's going on the road against Atlanta. You would think once again this is a situation where you want to expect him to continue to struggle. Elder, his last 2 starts got hit, and his last in particular was bad. A lot of walks, no strikeouts. Cubs are a modest road dog here, and my numbers indicate that the Cubs would have a play here, but as people would be the play, but as people in the comment section said, very, very tough to bet against Atlanta in any situation. The Cubs are playing for a wild card spot. And again, as we talked about before, they're not mathematically clinched over the Dodgers yet, but it's basically going to happen. But mathematically, it hasn't happened yet. So presumably they're going to be fighting till the end until it actually does happen. This is a really tough one. In the middle of the season with better weather, I'd probably be looking at the over, but who knows? I'm going to probably pass on this one. What do you think about this one, Dabby?
I think it's funny that the highest total that we've seen the whole show has been 8. And now we get to the Braves and they're like, oh, 9.5. I mean, that's partially the Cubs too. Look, Atlanta doesn't have much to play for. I'm not saying that they're just going to go out there and not try, but what they need to be focused on right now is staying healthy. You know, they just lost Fried and Morton, so their rotation has been thinned out. I mean, that's just a huge hit to them. So I think with Bryce Elder here, I think the MO is just going to be to have him, you know, go out there, have a, you know, solid 5 innings if you can get it easily, maybe even 4. They got to keep everyone healthy. I think you can maybe expect Steele to bounce back in this situation also. Just it's hard for me to bet against the Braves. I know that sounds lame, but it's not easy to do.
Well, the total, the side, has gotten bet down about 8 or 10 cents. It was minus 140 for Atlanta earlier. Now it's around minus 130. So about a 10-cent move as of right now to the Cubs. Total has not moved much at all since I saw it. 9.5 still juiced to the under. I'd be thinking maybe about a shot with the Cubs team total over, but I'm just going to pass, Dabby Cab. All right, let's look at the comments section to see if anyone has anything to say. Oh, there were some interesting Mets game comments. Here you go. Yeah, Gifted Cartel like Miami first 5, but Billy Friedrich liked the Mets first 5 plus a half at minus 138, and Sharon Pulliam liked the Mets as well. Ooh, Mark's Reviews 2.0 doing a Mets alt run line. Wow, minus 1.5. There you go. And Mark's Reviews 2.0 likes the Cubs here. Alt run line as well. Cubs minus 1. So you're going to get a nice little plus 150, 160 line with that one. Wow. And Cheshire Cat, though, Braves at home, could give their fans something to be proud of. Minus 149 is cray-cray. So I guess Cheshire Cat loving the Braves there. Stacks play of the day is from Justin McElvey. Cubs first 5 plus 102. Wow. Okay. Alfred 44 says Cubs have fallen apart so badly. Yeah. All right. It's going to be a pass for me. Gifted Cartel likes Cubs plus 1.5. And let's move on. Dabby Cab. All right. Next one. I don't know about this one. Arizona White Sox. Davies against Urena. I correctly predicted in Urena's last start. I like the under. That was one of my plays in his last start. I took the under in that game. He had a nice 6-inning start at Washington. I think he's going to have a worse start here, but not get shelled. Probably looking at 5 or 6 innings and 3 runs or so. Davies, last 3 appearances, not good. 2 before that were good. I would predict that he would have a better start. One of his good starts. You know, Davies usually has one of those 5-inning 1-run starts where you're like, oh, how did I not see that coming? Or he gets crushed, right? 3 innings, 6 runs. And you're like, man, how did I not see that one coming? My prediction is Davies has a decent start here. Urena has another decent start, although not nearly as quality as his last start. I'd be leaning under. I'd be leaning at 9. I'd be leaning White Sox at plus 130. Even though they're generally just not a good team, their offense isn't really there. They're just playing out the string. They're returning from Boston. My numbers say at these lines, White Sox at plus 130 and the under 9 is a decent play. And again, Arizona they're tied with the Cubs for the wild card spot, so they're playing for playoff positioning. I'd be leaning under, Dabby Cab. What do you think?
This is crazy. Like time of year, you said it when we started this, man. It's interesting because it's, you know, right now this is pressure situation here for the Diamondbacks. I mean, they need to beat they have to beat the White Sox here. I think Arizona's offense is what'll make the difference. The White Sox have just been awful at the plate. 671 OPS, 82 runs created plus against right-handed pitchers in the last 10 days. And then you look on the other side, the Diamondbacks, they've registered a 744 OPS and 102 runs created plus versus righties in that span. And the Diamondbacks bullpen too, their bullpen's done a great job over the last 10 days, 0.65 ERA, 3.80 FIP. I mean, the White Sox bullpen on the other side, 9.61 ERA over that same span. I don't understand. I wouldn't be able to bet the White Sox, but that's just me. They're just not a good baseball team at all.
Yeah, I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying that's what my numbers indicate. And you know what, Dabby Cap, I think I am going to make this one an official play, even though we got Davies and Urena. I'm going to make it under 9 minus 109. Current line at Heritage under 9 minus 109. I'm going to make that one an official play. And yeah, it's also tempting to take one of the team total unders as well. But yeah, it's I'm going to hold off. My numbers say take the White Sox. I cannot do that. My numbers say take the under, and I can, and I just did at 9 minus 109. Let's glance at the comments section. Well, there you go. Go ahead.
It makes sense, Pete, if you like the White Sox to like the under, because if you
right.
like the White Sox, you think it's going to be a low-scoring game. You know what I mean? Because nobody's looking at a game with the White Sox and thinking, oh, I think they're going to put up 10 runs.
Yeah. Billy Friedrich making good comments, of course. Davies' road ERA is 8.1. Yes, but this spot should be a little bit easier, as you said. The White Sox are not a very fearsome team offensively right now, of course. Billy Friedrich says, how does this game not get over 8.5? D-backs familiar with Urena because he pitched in Colorado. Yeah, I don't like to fade the Diamondbacks, either with unders or with the opposing teams. I'm just doing what my and maybe they'll win 7-1. Maybe Urena does get crushed. Davies comes in and has one of his patented 5-inning 1-run starts. You're like, where did that come from? Bullpen comes in and shuts the White Sox down, and the Arizona wins it 7-1. Gifted Cartel says, White Sox can't hit. I don't care who's pitching. And Pimp Slap play of the day, Mike M. about the Arizona game. Look at wow. He says, Arizona, 23-0 on the road. If a mid-level fave in the first game of the series, 21-2 on the run line. Holy shit. You looking at this? You looking at what I'm looking, Dabby Cab?
Where is it right here? Where is it in the chat?
Arizona, 23-0 on the road if they're a mid-level favorite in the first game of the series.
Jesus.
That might be some kind of a fundamental trend there. Some of these trends do have fundamental roots. Not all of them, but some of them do. Go ahead.
Mike is able to sometimes back up some of these things because I don't have the actual numbers on things like him. But so earlier when I told you the minus 150 to minus 165, that would probably stretch out to minus 145, also 144 where this is at. These mid-level favorites on the season, I'm telling you that they've just been money, Pete. And I don't have numbers to back it. I just know that when I like a team and I see a minus 150 or minus 160, I'm going with that first 5 run line.
Yeah. Morgan Spooner, Arizona -1. Yeah, I do have high volatility on the sides here as well. So if I was going to take either Arizona or the White Sox, it would be on a -1 or even -1.5 line. Wow, this is interesting shit here. Yeah. Wow, shout out to Mike M. Pimp Slap play of the day. Steve G says Dabby's he has no clue what he's looking at. Obviously, I'm factoring that in, Steve G. I'm factoring that.
If you guys think that I get so high still, you're
then you must be high. You must be high. You're just projecting
too
here.
High. Yeah.
Possibly Steve G is projecting here, which is not. I mean, we all do it. Projecting is one of the most fundamental human things you can do, and I love it.
We got too high on Medicate Monday yesterday, Pete, and we swept the Monday Night Football board as a crew. Everybody that came on, Mike M, he gave out a plus 165 that hit. Dutch gave out a plus 175. I was on the Eagles first half. We cleaned that shit up. And the Astros first 5. We were real high yesterday making that money.
Hell yeah. All right. I'm thinking about my numbers, which I didn't put much faith in this spot anyway, the very, very fundamental basic power rating numbers at the current line liked the White Sox, but Arizona -1, that might be a very nice play. Let me just quickly glance at what the line would be, and then we'll move on. But yeah, it'd probably be like -108 or something like that. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Pinnacle -115. Very tempting, Dabby Cab. I'm going to think about that, but I'm going to move on. Let's move on. Oakland and Minnesota, another game that had no line. When I looked at it, we do have one now, -239 for Minnesota, 8.5 juice to the over. So it's in -239. 8.5 juice to the over. Blackburn against Ober. Blackburn, not too good, but not that terrible. And Ober, sometimes gives up 5, but more often 2 or 3. Oakland, of course, historically bad. I think they're pushing 110 losses or whatever the hell it is. And Minnesota is locked in, I believe, to their, I don't know if mathematically or essentially mathematically, but they're basically locked into the ALC Central, and they'll play the number 6 seed. So we don't know who the number 6 seed is, but basically that's where Minnesota is. So once again, I guess I'd be leaning under because of the uncertainty surrounding this one and the high line. I'm going to hold off, but I don't care how bad Oakland is. If Oakland is, if you're going to factor in motivation here, maybe Oakland's more motivated to not lose 110 games than Minnesota is. Minnesota basically locked into their playoff spot, and they're a minus 239 favorite. That makes no sense to me. I'm shocked that this line is where it is. I'm just seeing it now for the first time. I would have thought like 160, 170. Wow. And I'm leaning under and Oakland here.
I like Billy Friedrich's look right here. First 5 plus a half a run plus 127. I like that a lot here. I mean, you look at Minnesota, they're 49-58 as a run line favorite on the season, 30-36 run line home favorites. Oakland right there basically at the same spot with Minnesota. The only difference is, one team is, a division title winner and the other one's going to finish with the worst record in baseball, most likely. So it's just real interesting, when we talk about like how important lines are and paying attention to stuff, with Blackburn on the hill here, I think the A's are good to cover the run line. I like it. I'd probably go first 5 run line with Billy before I went full game, but I agree with this one.
And I might pull the trigger this one. I like to do a little bit of like numbers crunching before I make an official play. But my note was, we'll see where the line is under. And I guess my problem is just my concern is just that they might put some absolute back end of the bullpen guys in late, and it gets over. But yeah, I'd be leaning under and first 5 under as well. Let me see what the first 5 under. Yeah, wow, 5 minus 116. All right, I'm definitely going to pull the trigger on that one. That might be one of my favorite plays on the card, maybe. All right, but I'm going to take the first 5 under, 5 minus 116. That one for sure. Oakland, Minnesota, first 5 under, 5 minus 116. And the first 3 is probably going to be something I'll like as well. Yeah, we're going to need Blackburn to not shit the bed, which will not be a shock if he did it, but it could happen. Let's see what the first three line is here. Probably be 2.5 minus 135 or something. Oh, 2.5 minus 110. Yeah, that's damn tempting as well. Ober should be all right, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think the reason I like that line is because I think this game probably goes under. Also, I would look under, and I think so. That's why when you think of there's low volatility, those extra runs make a huge difference on the run line.
All right, I'm trying to think if I want to double up on this right now. I'm not going to double up. I'm just going to take the first 5 under, 5 minus 116 current line of Pinnacle. Just one bet. I also like the full game under. As far as the money line is concerned, I'll have to look into a little bit more. And as you said, wait for the lineups, because who knows who will exactly be in the Minnesota lineup. But I would definitely be leaning Oakland at this line. What the fuck? How can that be that big of a dog line here? Plus 215. Minnesota's locked into their playoff positioning, right? Let's look at the comment section and see if anyone. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. And also, we know what Blackburn can do. I mean, I know he hasn't been stellar this season, but he's still made people that have backed him money in the first 5 multiple times this year. So I was just agreeing with you on that.
Yeah, I would love to pull the trigger on Oakland, but I won't. All right, let's move on. St. Louis and Milwaukee. Milwaukee trying to clinch the NL Central title, and the Cardinals, out of it and playing a bunch of youngsters. They got blasted by San Diego on Sunday. We got Milwaukee as a minus 165 favorite, totals about 8.5, juice to the over. Zach Thompson against Hauser, and this is another game where Hauser and Thompson both faced the opposing teams in their last start. Thompson was pitching well for a while. Now he's getting worse, giving up like 3 or 4 each start. And Hauser, after he throws a few good starts in a row, it always makes me nervous to bet on a third good start in a row. This last start was against St. Louis. It was good. But again, St. Louis playing a bunch of youngsters now. Milwaukee playing for something real here. I would be leaning Milwaukee, but at this current line, it's tough because taking Hauser as this big of a favorite is something that my gut just tells me not to do. But my numbers do like Milwaukee here, depending on the lineup, as you said. So I guess I'm going to hold off now, but my lean would be to Milwaukee. What do you think, Gabby?
Yeah, Milwaukee, they've been one of the best teams in baseball at home. all season, especially lately. They've been doing great. And, this is a game that they won, on the road, just a week ago. So I don't see any reason why they can't replicate that here in this rematch. Huge game. They're at home, like I just said, where they're one of the best teams in baseball. And there's injuries throughout St. Louis's lineup also. So
Yeah.
I think this is a spot where I would have to be on Milwaukee, and this is that mid-level favorite that we were just talking about at minus 154. Brewers' first 5 run line might hit my card by the end of this show. Like I said, I've got a few things rolling around in my head. I'll make it official before we get out of here.
All right. If I was going to take a shot with this one, though, I'd probably just take Milwaukee -1. Hauser, God, all right. So we had a nice start against St. Louis, and before that, a nice start against Miami. But before that, he should be good. It's just like he's not one of these guys who can string. He can string together 2 nice starts in a row, but 3, that's a big ask for Hauser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
All right, I'm going to.
He's a contact guy, Pete. He's a contact guy. Like I was talking about Javier earlier and talking about some of these other pitchers. Hauser's a contact guy. So
yeah. All right, I'm gonna hold off on this one, although my lean would be to Milwaukee. Next one, Texas and the Angels. Cody Bradford starting for Texas. Detmers starting for the Angels. Detmers, another guy like Hauser, who when he starts to string 2 or 3 good appearances in a row, get ready for one of the old 3-inning, 6-run appearances. Not saying that's going to happen here, but Texas is definitely winning, rolling. Angels having a hard time buying a win, and the Rangers are still playing for their playoff positioning as well. I think they still haven't clinched a playoff spot. Their magic number is low, but it's still not clinched. I wouldn't want to take Texas at this line, but my gut tells me that that's what I would do if I had a free play betting against Detmers, even though his last bunch of starts have not been too bad. And Bradford is a big question mark. Texas is a big road favorite. What do you think here, Dabby?
If I can get 5 on the first 5 total, I'll take the over on this. I need to look into the numbers. The Rangers, it's been great watching lately. 5 of their last 6 games, when they've needed it more than ever, they've been great on offense. They put up 34 runs in their last 4 games. Just a few games back, they got their full lineup back. It's the first time since the All-Star break that they had all their All-Stars in the lineup. You've got Young back in the lineup at third. Garcia's back in the lineup now. Everybody's healthy, from Seager to Lowe. This lineup is absolutely as deadly as any lineup in baseball. Their pitching sucks. That's the truth. They don't have a good starting 5. They have a terrible bullpen, but what they can do is hit. And I think that's what they're going to do today. Not very many runs early yesterday, but they still had, I think back-to-back home runs in the 6th inning. So they came through. I'll look at the numbers. If I can get 5, I'll go over in the first 5 here.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. As I kind of suspected might happen, there has been a small market move as of right now towards the Angels. Earlier in the market, this line was Angels in the mid plus 150s. Now it's down into the plus 140s here at Pinnacle, and the total hasn't moved much. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna hold off, and I'm going to think about it for a little bit. Let's quickly glance at the comments section, and let's see. We got. I don't know if you can hear that in the back. Can you hear that, Daphne Cap? Fucking sirens.
Yeah, the sirens.
All right.
Are they coming for you?
Wait. Yeah, I don't know what they're coming for. All right, I'm going to hold off. Let's move on. San Francisco, San Diego. This is interesting. Both teams are technically, I believe, still mathematically not eliminated, but essentially they're eliminated, and they're playing each other. Lugo against Harrison, but they're the people they're putting on the field is very different. San Francisco's playing youngsters, and the Padres are playing their horrible, underachieving veterans. And of course, San Diego lost last game, going up with Snell against Webb, and the Giants beat him in a very low scoring game. So here we have Lugo against Harrison. Harrison not too bad, but not great. And Lugo is kind of who he is. He's pretty consistent, except for the one dud. It doesn't seem like this is going to be one of those dud starts. So he's probably going to have a solid start here. So I would be thinking maybe about, even though it's been San Diego's been fool's gold for the entire season until people realize what fool's gold looks like. I'd be leaning San Diego here, First 5, Lugo against Harrison. Expecting a decent start from Lugo and expecting maybe Harrison to struggle a little bit and San Diego to, hopefully come to play, which might not happen. Of course, the last game they were off the big win at home against St. Louis, so you maybe give them a pass for the dud, and they're facing Webb. So I would be leaning San Diego here, first 5 as a small favorite.
I would be in the exact same spot as you on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Lugo's had a solid season overall. He's been very good against the Giants here. He's got 2 starts against them with the ERA under 1 in the 2 starts, which, it doesn't get better than that. The Giants' offensive numbers down this stretch have been just terrible. They've scored 2 or fewer runs in 4 of the last 5 games. This team's looking forward to the offseason, even with some of the young guys. It's hard to watch what's going on with them right now. I like the Padres first 5, and the Padres have been such fool's gold all season. They're trying to at least strengthen their record for the end of the year a little bit, I think, because it doesn't get more embarrassing than what the Padres have done.
You think any of these fucking overpaid veterans give a fuck about it? They've got their millions. They've got their names. They're going to get more money later on. They're going to get the TV show. They don't give a fuck. You think the Padres give a fuck here?
You think Soto's still going to do his dumbass shuffle today? Absolutely.
I have no idea. Bro.
You know what shuffle I'm talking about? That shit he does in the box where he scoots forward after the pitch and acts like he sees it real well. Like, dude, your team is terrible. Damn. You do that in an intense game, okay, I get it. But you do it every time. Yeah, fuck these guys, man.
And I wish I was them. I wish I was an overpaid multimillionaire shuffling like a cock in the box. Man, that's got to be the life. Man, I'm thinking, God, what the hell, San Diego? I can't do it. I cannot pull the trigger on San Diego here. They're such a bunch of fucks. Always disappointing you and losing. Right?
Yeah.
Lugo, I like, though.
Shuffle, man. I'd hit him in the head. I swear to God, if he did that, if I threw him a breaking pitch, he did that dumbass shuffle, the next one's going right at his jaw. I promise.
I'm thinking about taking, where is it? The Giants team total under. I don't really want to take the first 5 under 1.5 at plus money, but you could get, where is it? What's the Giants team totals here? Let me see. Where are the Giants team totals? Can't find it. How's the Giants team totals? Yeah. You get like 3.5 minus 102, 4 minus 136, something like that. I think Lugo's going to be all right. Let's look at the comments section. Cheshire Cat likes Lugo too. Jake Burns, LOL. I hate the Padres so much. Yeah, me too. You know what? I'm going to take a shot with the Giants team total under, though. Let's see what Pinnacle has here. Let's see. Team total, full game. Where the hell is it? Yeah, Giants 3.5 plus 101. At Heritage, I can get 3.5 minus 102. All right, I'll take a shot with that. I'll take a shot with the Giants. Team total under 3.5 plus 101. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I think Lugo will be all right. The Giants probably will be held down a bit, and we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. All right. Next game and I'd also be leading under in general on this one as well. Next game on the card will be Houston and Seattle. And this is a game you talked about earlier, Dabby Cab. Javier, last start was great, but he'd been getting hit a bit before that. And now you got Kirby for Seattle, giving up 3 or 4 every start now. And this is a huge game, right? Seattle's trying to catch Houston. Houston's who they're trying to catch, and now they are playing head-to-head. They got Kirby starting, which is, a bit iffy. At one point, Kirby was almost an auto play on for me. Now, giving up 3 or 4 every start, Seattle's a modest favorite, minus 135 or minus 140 or so. When I checked, total was 8 juice to the under. Let's see where we are right now, if it has moved at all. Oh, wow, yeah, okay. So it's moved in significantly in Houston's favor. A big 15-cent market move since I checked it. Now it's down to Seattle like minus 120, Houston about plus 110. Market wide, total hasn't moved. I think I'm going to pass on this one, but you like something here, Dabby. What do you like?
Yeah, especially if it's going to move in Houston's direction, because, I know Javier is capable of having a good game, but a good game for me with him would be if he gave up 3 runs and went 6 innings. I like the first 5 over. It's 4. The total's 4. The 4 in the first 5 here. You can get it as low as minus 108 up to minus 115. Pinnacle's got minus 108. Other places have different numbers. it's kind of all over the place. But yeah, I like the first 5 over 4. I'm going to get there because I think, like I said, if this is moving towards the Astros and if we're favoring the Astros here, if they're going to get to Kirby, I still think Javier gives me a couple towards the total. So first 5 over in this one.
Okay, very nice. I'm going to pass on this one. It's an interesting game, interesting spot, but yeah, I'm going to pass. I am, though, going to take a shot. I am going to add on a double up with the San Francisco game. I'm just going to add the full game under 8.5 minus 114 as well. San Francisco, San Diego under 8.5 minus 114 current line at Pinnacle. I like that one a bit as well. Let's see what people have to say here in the comments section about Andrew G says, well, the chips are down. H-Town will deliver. Chris Comatini pass. Gagnon says Houston is just better. Mariners have one hitter, but he's great, but he's one man. Morgan Spooner says Kirby shows up today. Okay, maybe so. We'll see. He hasn't showed up in a while. Okay. Oh, shit. And the pimp slap play of the day is Houston. Plus 125. So, presumably, at plus 110, Mike M might not make it pimp slap play of the day, but would still probably like it. Pimp slap play of the day, Houston Astros plus 125. You can shop around. Yeah, Heritage has plus 113. The Pinnacle line seems to be crashing. Other places might have plus 115, but pimp slap play of the day is Houston as a small road dog. There you go. Endorsement on anyone who's liking Houston. All right, let's just quickly review the card. Dabby Cab, I've made a bunch of official plays. All of them I feel a little bit nervous about, but I'll just go over them just in case anyone wants to keep track and slam me for any bad day I have, which is entirely that's their prerogative. Cincinnati Reds, first 5 money line, minus 104. Washington, Baltimore, under 8, minus 121. Pitt, Philly, first 5, under 4, minus 111. Yanks, Toronto, first 3, under 1.5, plus 150. Tampa Bay, Boston, under 8, minus 103. Boston, full game team total under 3.5, plus 100. Mets, money line, plus 113. Arizona White Sox, under 9, minus 109. Oakland, Minnesota, first 5, under 5, minus 116. Giants, team total under 3.5, plus 101. And San Diego, San Francisco, under 8.5, minus 114. Once again, the pimp slap play of the day is the Houston Astros as a small home road dog. Mike M quoted plus 125. That's moved about 10 or 15 cents since then. Pimp slap play of the day points out the Arizona Diamondbacks might be a great bet on the road in this spot as a mid-level favorite in the first game of the series, 23-0. So Arizona minus 1 might be a nice play. Levels play of the day from Tone Miggins is also the Houston Astros money line at plus 110. And the spreadsheet play of the day from Ron Crawford is Tampa Bay. Dabby Cab, what official plays do you have for us right now?
I got you. And it's gonna feel real short after how many you had here. But I got you guys. I got two. I got 2 that I'm gonna make here today, right now. I got the over the first 5 over 4.5 in the Texas Los Angeles game. It's come down, so I can get 4.5 right now. So I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna stress too much about the movement because I think we're gonna see runs both ways. And then I got the over 4 minus 108 in the Houston Seattle game tonight. I have a couple other leans, but everybody knows if I make it, I'll put it on Twitter. So right now, those are the only 2 that I've actually bet, but I've got a couple other things that I'm looking at. And I got to give a shout out, Pete. It was earlier, but my guy Akbar dropped it in the chat. I don't know where it was. He said something. He said Dabby Cab, best one pick, one bet a day better. I said it at the beginning of MLB season, and it remains the same multiple sports. I appreciate you. My volume's not as high as some people, but we're up 17 units in the baseball season right now, Pete.
Very nice, Dabby Cab. All right, I'm going to actually add on another play here. I'm going to take Game 1, Dodgers, Colorado, under 12.5, minus 112. Game 1, Dodgers, Colorado, under 12.5, minus 112. That's the current line at Pinnacle. And what else was I thinking? My leans, I definitely was leaning under in KC, Detroit, buying up to 8, even though Greinke might have a dead arm here that we're dealing with. Leaning, full game under in Philly and Pitt, even though I took the first 5 under. And let me see. Leaning under in Miami Mets with Garrett and Lucchesi going. Definitely leaning Arizona minus 1. I should probably pull the trigger on that, right? Definitely leaning. I mean, the White Sox are just so bad. Like, the White Sox are really bad right now. I mean, they really are.
Really bad. Their offense is as bad as it gets.
Definitely leaning Oakland at that huge dog line against Minnesota. Minnesota has their playoff positioning essentially locked in. I guess leaning Milwaukee, despite being a big favorite with Hauser starting. And I guess that's about it. I'll hold off right now just because my numbers that aren't taking into consideration the situation or Mike M's way of looking at things, like the White Sox at plus 130. So I'll hold off. That's the entire card. Can we invite, and we do have WNBA. We got the WNBA playoffs. I don't know if you want to just talk about it for a second. I have no plays. They're two classic basketball playoff situations where you have a big favorite in both games. In one of the games, the big favorite lost outright. An supposedly elite team as a big home favorite playing a gritty, the Liberty playing the Connecticut Sun, a gritty underdog, physical game that where they won outright. And then in the other game, you had another elite team as a big favorite, the Aces, who rolled against Dallas. Question is, which results are likely to repeat, which are not. I'm not exactly sure. I'm thinking that maybe the under or a first half under in the Aces Dallas game might be the way to go, because I'm not sure if Dallas can contain the Aces, but they're certainly going to try. And they're probably going to, at least try to lower the scoring, at least in the first half. So as of right now, I would be leaning first half under in the Dallas Aces game, but I didn't bet that. I probably won't. But if I had a free play on one of those games, that's the way I would look at it. Jose Bouquet, you want to drop in for one quick second? Jose Bouquet,
Drew.
How's it going, Jose? You got any 2-second comment about the card today in baseball, or to let us know what's going on the rest of the day?
No, I suck dick for money when it comes to betting baseball right now, so don't take any gambling advice from me. However, do watch Say Hey Plays today at 5 p.m. Eastern. Bobano will be there. He'll give you winning plays, and I'll be there to shepherd it the whole way through. Obviously, tonight we've got Jimmy's Bankroll Blitz with Troy Torrance. It'll be a whole lot of fun. I won't be there. I'm actually giving a speech at a podcast convention. It's pretty hilarious. They released an email. They released an email, and at the email, they put your little headliners in there. They're like, local podcast legend so-and-so, CEO of this, and this, and Jose Bouquet from Pub Sports Radio. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing in this list? But it should be interesting. If you're in San Antonio, come out. A bunch of our podcasts will be there. Pub Sports Radio will be there, so it'll be a lot of fun. But the channel, obviously, is Walking Dead, my show, and Jimmy's show later today to Bankroll Blitz. But if you want some actual winning picks, Sharpie, The Walking Dead. If you want some good entertainment in Bobano, my show. So it's a great time.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. You fake it till you make it, Jose Bouquet. And look at this. Cheshire Cat with this comment. Ha ha. We love you, Jose. There you go. You're on your way up, pal. All right. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in.